Hello there, Scorpio. It's time for your monthly reading for May of 2021. I'm Michele B, and if you've been following me, if you've been subscribed for a little while, then you realize that this isn't my usual habitat. If you saw the last reading that I did, you would have heard me say, I'm getting myself a room so that I can do all of my monthly readings all at once. And I did, because my typical habitat is a lovely artistic studio apartment with houseplants everywhere, but it's downtown in Bellingham, Washington, and it is so noisy. It is so crazy with like all the people walking by, all the trucks and cars and weekend warriors on the Harleys, and it's just like, and the train, the frickin' train. Like that's all I have to say, right? I wanted to be able to crank out a big set of long readings without being constantly interrupted by all the racket. So here I am. Plus I got lots of people staying in my place lately, coming and going. And so, yeah, super annoying. Anyway, if I was infinitely wealthy, I asked myself, which I am, because I have such high value, what would I do for myself? I was like, I'll get myself a room so I can record my monthly readings. That's what's meaningful to me. That's what I want. So I did. Yes, let's all show ourselves how valuable we are by investing in ourselves and doing the things that we really want to be doing. Here we go. Scorpio. First, we're going to look at what to embrace for the month of May. And we're going to look at what to leave behind. Not exist anymore. We're letting it go. Two cards, please. There's 1 and 2. All right, let's see what we got. What to embrace. King of Wands energy. Your sign right next door is Sagittarius. This is representative of Sagittarian energy, which is very social, but in a constructive leader kind of way. It's a masculine energy, even if you identify as feminine. It is a masculine energy because it's the energy of a leader rather than a collaborator. But the way that this person leads is not by being a boss. They lead by inspiring others. They inspire others to be their best. They inspire others to work towards something that is for the greatest good of all. This could be you, Scorpio, right now, working on your leadership skills. This could be you being driven by something that's greater than just yourself, being inspired, being led by something that's just like, that the potential is so great, not just for you, but for the whole of humanity. But you're really, like, you're feeling like there's something so big that you just want to go get. And I love that for you, because you're so fixed that when you've decided on something, that's it. That's it. You're going to get it. And that's a wonderful energy for you to have. What you're leaving behind, I really sense that you were just kind of, because you didn't have a direction, you were losing yourself in like the socializing and the partying. So that's good, right? There's a place for having fun with the people that you love. There's certainly a place for that. But then it gets to a point where you're just doing it because you want to hide from your greater potential. So that's what was happening before. So you're leaving that behind. You're leaving behind the hiding from your greater potential. Socialization is for sharing ideas. It's for inspiring each other. It's for supporting each other. Socialization is not for hiding from your problems or hiding from your potential. So you're putting that behind you, right? You're moving toward inspiration. So with that information, we are going to go forward to look at your soul, information about your soul purpose, which is like what you're on this planet to do. It could be just like influencing just a couple people, or it could be influencing millions. Anyway, you're here to do something, and we're going to find out some information about the month of May regarding that. And then we're going to look at your your prosperity and your abundance. That is like the material things that make our lives so nice, right? It could be money, but it's greater than that. It's all the physical stuff, the physical things that give us a sense of freedom, of safety, of security. And then finally, we're going to look at your intimate connections. Excuse me. We're most concerned about romantic love, but it could be any kind of intimate connection that is really meaningful to you at the emotional level. First, let's start with that soul purpose. Soul purpose for Scorpio. Messages for May. We definitely wanted that Temperance card. Temperance came out to talk about you healing from a period of being out of touch with your higher potential, with your greatest potential, like I was just saying before, right? But there's a lot of healing that needs to be done, because I feel like, Scorpio, you've got a lot of shame attached to how long you've been dragging your feet, keeping yourself from working towards your greater good. And shame will get you absolutely nowhere. It will not help you become this greatest version of yourself. This is going to be the greatest version of yourself, and you're not going to reach it by feeling sorry for yourself. You see the cups here and the cup here. It's like you're still messing with the cups. In the month of May, you're still messing with the cups and being like, yeah, I kind of hid out for a while and I feel ashamed of it. The more shame you feel about it, the more you think about how you don't like it, the more you get pulled back into it. We attract the energy that we're in, right? We attract more of it. You feel sorry for yourself, you're feeling ashamed of yourself, you're going to attract more reasons to feel sorry and ashamed for yourself. So what I would do instead is I would forgive myself. I would forgive the fact that I drug my feet for so long. I would say, it's okay. Like you would talk to a child that made mistakes, right? I would say to myself, I love you, me. I love you, me. It's okay that you took so long, because everything comes in its perfect timing. I forgive me. I forgive you, me. But now I can do better. I love me. I'm sorry it took so long. I'm sorry you were hurting, but I love you. I forgive you. And, write it down, for Pete's sake. And any time that those shameful feelings start to percolate back up, get on them right away. And turn those into positive affirmations. I am now completing my life's purpose. I have done so much for other people. I am like so proud of myself. All those affirmations, do those over and over and over again for yourself until those thoughts don't come up anymore. You give yourself a reason to be proud when you start having pride. When you forgive yourself, give yourself reasons. A gift. You're giving yourself the gift of a reason to be proud, to be confident, to be out there, right? Any other thoughts for Scorpio before we move on? Yes, like I said, this is the image that I got when I was thinking of a child being forgiven. I got the image of, this is the young version. This is the young version of the page to the king, right? The young version of the king is the page. You had to be a page first before you could become a king. So there you go. Forgive yourself. Because everyone starts somewhere. And that's where you started, Scorpio. Now, if you identify as female, don't take all this masculine stuff personally. Because that's not, whatever. It's just the way that these cards are, because they're based in cultures from a long time ago. So take it with a grain of salt, okay? Going over to think about your prosperity and abundance for the month of May. What kinds of messages do we have for Scorpio? For prosperity and abundance for the month of May, what does Scorpio need to know? What have we got here? We got the Chariot. I think the Lovers wanted to say something too. So we got 6 and 7 in the major arcana coming out for talking about your prosperity and abundance. Number 6 going to the number 7. Okay, the Lovers to the Chariot. The Lovers is the energy of learning your karmic lessons. That's not the karma that we Westerners typically associate, like cause and effect. You do something bad happens to you, right? That's what we think karma means, but it's not. It doesn't exactly work that way. Karma is about the lessons that we need to learn in this life. And in the case of the Lovers, it's lessons that we need to learn when we become enmeshed with another. Often that happens in romantic relationships because these are the most significant intimate connections that we have besides our parents, right? So it could be regarding your parent, but not in this case. There were lessons that you needed to learn with someone else regarding prosperity and abundance. And it could be that you had there are connections that we have with other individuals that are auspicious, and there are connections that are not. So for myself, I have, because of my own attachments to my own childhood attachments that I had to wealth, it's like whenever I became enmeshed with someone else's life, I was not very abundant economically. And whoever I was with, like I was fine if I was single, I had plenty of money if I was single, but when I became involved in a connection with someone, I would immediately just like not be able to work because I was hanging out with them all the time. And whoever it was that I was with, they would turn into that as well, even though they were perfectly prosperous before that. I don't think it was all me. I think it was our connection, our karmic connections to each other, was to learn boundaries around hanging out and staying like gainfully employed, stay like working on our life's purpose, because we would become so enmeshed into our childhood traumas. That's how we were connected. Our childhood traumas would connect, and then we would just be like hanging out together all the time, like bickering and fighting and feeling sorry for ourselves, which would bring bad luck, which would like limit abundance. Okay, so does that sound familiar to you, Scorpio? This is something that you're leaving behind, right? Nothing. You're really working on a lot of shame stuff, all right? Nothing to be ashamed of. These were lessons that you needed to learn, and I feel like it was more than just your own karma. It was the learning experience of your generational line, your genetic lineage, because you inherited it from your parents, right? You inherited how to interact with another person economically from your parents. So you are breaking generational traumas, toxic behaviors, okay, to learn how to be abundant. But so leaving that behind, you're moving into the Chariot energy, which is, it's like a lifelong story, but it is about not spinning your wheels and staying victorious, being led by the universe. This is, I feel dovetails very well with the King of Wands, and that it's the energy. Maybe these two are the same people. Look at that. I feel like that fiery redhead is the same person as that King of Wands. Anyway, it's the energy of someone who is inspired by something beyond themselves to go forth, to carry a message, it's supposed to be about conquering, but I feel like in this case it's carrying a message that like there's something bigger than just this world, right? So like going forth, carrying a message, being driven. And I feel like as long as, Scorpio, as long as you continue to work on this inspiring, exciting thing, the money will continue to flow toward you. I feel like the more you lose yourself, you lose your, the more shame you release, the more you let go of your egoic attachment to what you think you should have accomplished already, the more you let go of worrying about what other people think of you, the more abundance will come in, okay? Because this is a mission from God, right? This is a mission from the universe. This is a mission from your higher self. So the more you detach your expectations of yourself and of your bank account, the more prosperity is going to flow in. It sounds cliche. It sounds kind of nuts. It's really hard to trust it. But why don't you give it a try and see what happens? I'd love to hear your feedback on what happened. I mean, I don't want to tell somebody to just like give up all of their material possessions in when they don't even know like how they're going to even pay their bills, especially if they have children. But I'm saying you don't have to be attached to it. You don't have to worry about it. All you need to do is do what you feel like you're passionately driven to do. What is that? Some people don't even know what that is. I think if you're watching this, you do know what it is. There could be potentially millions of you Scorpios out there watching this right now, so I can't tell you what exactly that is because each of you has your own unique experience. So speaking of millions of people potentially watching this video, I certainly hope that'll happen eventually. We're going to look at your intimate connections, your love prospects for the month of May. Messages about love. So, in those millions of potential Scorpios that are watching this, some of them could be in committed relationships. Some of them could be in I don't know where this is going, connection. Some of you could be not in a connection, but wanting one. Some of you could be perfectly happy being single and just want some guidance on how to handle those intimate friendships, intimate family connections that you have. So let's find out what your messages are. The moon came out. I feel like so many of the messages, overall, so many of the messages are really positive for you, Scorpio. But you're really struggling with this whole being positive thing. You're inspired, but you're like, but this happened before. You're still hanging on to stuff that happened before. Can I trust myself? And I'm also hearing, but I just don't want to be alone. What if I pursue my inspiration and the people that I love turn their backs on me? What can I say to that? What can I say to that except that like these people are not divinely driven. They don't align with you anymore. Because we will always attract the people that we're aligned with. So if you are temporarily without friends, it's okay. Because it's only for a little while. But I guarantee you that by the time you become fully aligned with your higher calling, by the time you become fully aligned with this, you won't even care. It's not even going to bother you anymore. That like the loneliness isn't even going to bother you. It's when we are not afraid of the wilderness, of the moonlight, when we're not afraid of the wolves, of being alone in the darkness, that's when we attract the most beautiful connections. If you are with someone right now just because you're afraid of being alone, that's pretty sad. Let's find out what else we need to know. I'm trying to tell you. My sweet Scorpios, you deserve so much love. You deserve that same potential. You deserve to be in connection with the same potential that you have. This isn't speaking to all Scorpios. Many Scorpios are in happy relationships, but they're not turning to a tarot reader to find out. There you are. This is the death card. That's Scorpio. That doesn't mean death is happening. Look at this. Look at all this major arcana action. Major arcana in every aspect of your life. You are in a significant place right now of transitioning from the old you to the new you. Scorpio 2.0. And it is so fucking scary. The old you is dying. And it is so scary. But why can't I go back to what I used to have before? Will I ever experience that kind of love again? The love that I had once. Will I ever be able to experience the sweet, naive energy of youthful love? Yes. Yes. But you've got to get rid of the shame and the ego baggage. That's all there is to it. Okay. Yeah, it's really scary to transition. It's a scary feeling to let the old you die and to bring in the new version. But once it happens, you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Once it's over, it's like, oh, okay. The transition wasn't as painful as I thought it was going to be. I'm feeling this quiet, stoic calm, this peace wash over me. And I hope that you feel it too, Scorpio. Because it's good. This is all so good. I love it. I'm so grateful and happy for you. That you're transitioning. Yeah, it's a little awkward and painful this month. It is. But I'm feeling like by the time June rolls around, you're going to be ready. You're going to be ready to release the former Scorpio. So yeah, closing out, this is the new you, okay? Go ahead and let it happen. Go ahead and let yourself level up. Because it's going to happen sooner or later anyway. And be kind to yourself. Because everybody has to start somewhere, okay? Let yourself heal. Let yourself transition. And in the wake of the transition to this new, better version of Scorpio, you're going to be attracting people and resources to you that will leave you feeling like, I don't know why I was so stuck in where I was before. Okay. If you loved this reading, make sure and scroll down to the description box where you'll find 2 links, one for PayPal, one for Venmo, if you want to send me a couple dollars for this excellent reading that you received. And otherwise, I'll see you later, Scorpio. Love you. Have a great month.